The Earth, a newborn world of fire and fury, was still shaping its identity in the vastness of time. The young planet, bathed in the dim light of a weaker sun, bore scars from relentless asteroid impacts and roiling volcanic activity. The atmosphere was thick with methane and ammonia, a suffocating shroud that lacked the vital oxygen that now sustains us. Yet amid the chaos, something extraordinary was happening deep within the crust. An ancient landmass was assembling. It was the beginning of Vaalbara, one of Earth's oldest supercontinents. Don't forget to click on that subscribe button, hit the bell icon, and like this video, as it's the best way to support this channel. Vaalbara's name is a fusion of its two primary fragments, the Kaapvaal craton, nestled in what is now South Africa, and the Pilbara craton, lying in northwestern Australia. These two ancient geological formations are among the only remaining pristine windows into Earth's distant past. Their rock records whisper secrets from over 3.6 billion years ago, revealing a time when the planet's surface was still cooling and its first continents were beginning to form. Kaapvaal and Pilbara, now separated by thousands of miles, share remarkable similarities. Their geological and stratigraphic records, stretching from 3.6 to 2.7 billion years ago, suggest they were once conjoined. This was not merely a coincidence. These two landmasses bear identical sequences of volcanic flows, ancient river sediments, and iron-rich formations, all hinting at a common past. Scientists believe that Vaalbara was the first stable continental mass, a landmass that defied the turmoil of an infant Earth and set the foundation for the continents we see today. In the heart of Kaapvaal, geologists have unearthed volcanic remnants of the Ventersdorp supergroup, dating to around 2.7 billion years ago. Thousands of miles away, across the vast Indian Ocean, the Pilbara craton preserves the Fortescue group, an almost identical sequence of ancient volcanic and sedimentary rocks. These formations are strikingly similar, their chemistry and structure mirroring each other like twin reflections across time and space. The presence of banded iron formations in both regions adds another layer of mystery and connection. These deep-sea deposits, which formed in oxygen-poor waters, suggest that the two cratons once shared an ocean basin. The slow accumulation of iron-rich sediments, transformed over eons into the rust-coloured rocks of today, reveals that Vaalbara was surrounded by a primitive sea where microbial life may have already begun its rise. Yet some scientists have questioned whether Kaapvaal and Pilbara were truly connected. Could it be that these similar rock formations were not the result of a single landmass, but rather a coincidence of global geological processes? To answer this, researchers turned to another powerful tool: paleomagnetism. Paleomagnetism is Earth's way of leaving clues in stone. As molten rock cools, iron-bearing minerals align with the planet's magnetic field, preserving a record of their orientation for eternity. By studying these ancient signals, scientists can reconstruct how Earth's landmasses moved over time. In a groundbreaking study, geologists analysed paleomagnetic data from 2.87 billion-year-old volcanic complexes in both Kaapvaal and Pilbara. Their findings were staggering. The paleomagnetic poles of these two distant regions matched perfectly, suggesting they were once part of the same supercontinent. This meant that for at least 400 million years, Vaalbara stood as one of Earth's only landmasses, drifting over a relentless mantle while shaping the planet's early atmosphere and oceans. But Vaalbara was not the only landmass forming in Earth's early history. Other ancient cratons, some of which would later become the foundation of different continents, existed during the same period. Their relationship to Vaalbara remains a subject of debate. The Slave and Superior cratons in what is now Canada are among the oldest pieces of continental crust, with the Slave craton hosting the Augusta gneiss, which dates back an astonishing 4 billion years. However, these cratons do not exhibit direct geological ties to Kaapvaal or Pilbara. The Superior craton, while stabilising around 3 billion years ago, later became a major component of Kenneland, another early supercontinent that emerged as Vaalbara was beginning to fragment. The Yilgarn craton in Western Australia, may have been located near Pilbara, possibly forming an extension of Vaalbara, though its connection remains speculative. Its rock record bears some similarities to Pilbara's volcanic sequences, but whether the two landmasses were ever directly joined at this point in time remains a mystery. The Zimbabwe craton, on the other hand, was likely adjacent to Kaapvaal. Its rock formations are nearly identical in age and structure, suggesting a long-standing connection between the two cratons before the supercontinent's eventual breakup. Further east, the Singhbum and Darwar cratons in India are also candidates for early continental assembly, with some recent studies suggesting they could have been positioned close to the Kaapvaal-Pilbara landmass during the Archean Eon. Vaalbara was not the only supercontinent in Earth's early history. There is some evidence to suggest that during its existence, other landmasses were beginning to take shape, such as which formed around 3 billion years ago and possibly coexisted with the remnants of Vaalbara. While Earth's connection to Vaalbara remains uncertain, its emergence highlights the dynamic and ever-changing nature of Earth's early tectonics. This suggests that supercontinents may have formed and broken apart more frequently in the past than previously thought, with Vaalbara being only the first of many cycles of continental assembly and disassembly. Another lingering question is the fate of Vaalbara's cratons after its breakup. Some portions may have drifted far and wide, eventually joining later supercontinents like Rodinia and Gondwana. Geological evidence hints that fragments of Vaalbara may still be hidden within modern continental formations, waiting to be uncovered. The study of ancient rocks continues to refine our understanding of how Vaalbara shaped Earth's early landscapes, with new discoveries offering glimpses into the vast and enigmatic history of our planet. Like all things, Vaalbara's reign would not last forever. Around 2.7 billion years ago, the first signs of its demise began to appear. The supercontinent, which had defied destruction for so long, was slowly being torn apart by the immense forces of the Earth's interior. Tectonic activity intensified. The once unified landmass began to fracture, drifting apart in a slow and painful separation. Lava spilled from deep fissures, carving new landscapes where ancient rocks once lay undisturbed. By 2.1 billion years ago, Vaalbara was no more. Its great cratons had finally drifted apart. Kaapvaal and Pilbara, now stranded on opposite ends of the world, continued their lonely journey through geologic time. Pilbara found itself locked in the Australian landmass, while Kaapvaal became a cornerstone of Africa. Their break marked the birth of new continents, including Kenneland, Nuna, Rodinia, and eventually Pangaea, each an echo of the primordial land that came before. Though lost to time, Vaalbara's legacy endures. It set the stage for the complex world we inhabit today, providing a stable foundation for the continents that followed. Its iron-rich oceans paved the way for the Great Oxygenation Event, a pivotal moment in Earth's history that transformed the atmosphere and allowed for the explosion of life. Without Vaalbara, Earth might have remained a lifeless, barren sphere. Instead, this ancient landmass helped sculpt the very conditions that made our world habitable. Even now, as scientists probe the depths of ancient rocks, they continue to unearth fragments of Vaalbara's story. A story of fire and water, destruction and rebirth, and a tale written in the bones of the Earth itself. And so, across the expanse of time, Vaalbara remains the first whisper of continents yet to come. I hope you found this as interesting as I did. And as always, thanks for watching. Before I end this video, I'd like to give a big shout out to my Patreon and YouTube members. Thank you so much to everyone that helps to support this channel.